What's up, guys, and welcome to my first video I've done like this in what feels like forever. It's actually in a place I've never filmed before. I've only done, this is where I record all my audio, and it's good to be back doing this. I've been trying to find a way to get this system working, and I feel like it's not at its best because I still need to figure out the lighting and stuff like that, but, you know, to hell with it. Let's give it a shot and see what comes out of it, and I do have a special video, at least it's special to me, and I want to be talking about the football kits that I have owned, and that I currently own, of course, throughout my entire life. So I'm actually going to start off with a few kits I don't have right now in my possession, or they might be at my grandparents' house. I have no idea, but I personally don't have them right now in my household. So essentially, of course, as you probably, if you've seen my channel before, you know I'm a United fan, of course, repping one of their jerseys right now. I have a bunch right here, but the first kits I ever wore and actually owned were not United kits, and it's because my grandparents are Inter Milan fans. So of course, having Ronaldo R9, whatever you want to call him, at Inter at the time, they gave me his jersey as a kid. It may have been my aunt, one or the other, because they were, of course, they lived together and all that stuff. So either way, I had a Ronaldo Fenomeno jersey from Inter, and I actually had his Brazil kit. So I had both. So of course, Ronaldo, I put him in my top 11 players that have never played for United. You know he was always going to be there. You just can't not have him in there. And of course, having his jersey did have a pretty big influence on me from that point of view. I also had, I think I may have had another Inter jersey. I'm not 100% sure about that, but the other thing I do know is I actually had an AC Milan jersey because, of course, red and black are, especially when I was a kid, were the two colors that I used to like the most. So it just kind of made sense, I guess. And Milan had a really nice jersey. I think it was it was either 2003 or 2004 kit. I'm going to try to find them tomorrow when I go to my grandparents' house and see if I can find them in some of my old drawers or something like that. Because, of course, when I moved here to Italy, it was 2005. So, of course, that was, you know, when I was starting to outgrow things pretty fast. So I don't know exactly where they are, if we still have them, but I'm pretty sure we do somewhere. So if I can find them, then I will add these at a later date to just the video itself. I'll just maybe put like a screenshot of me wearing them or having them or something like that. But when the video comes out, you probably won't see that unless something magical happens and they appear. Nope. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the current jerseys. And of course, this is actually the first one. This is the United kit from 2005. Now, this is a special one for me because when we lived in the U.S., it wasn't easy to watch football. It just wasn't. I mean, it was very rare for them to show, you know, a lot of matches, basically. Like, they would show the World Cups, I remember that, and they would show some United matches. They would show some Serie A matches. In particular, I remember AC Milan, and they would show Real Madrid. But that was pretty much it. Like, that's from what I remember anyway. I talked to my dad about it, and he said there were channels for it, but they weren't really showing too much because, of course, as a little kid, I don't remember too much. But he was basically confirming the same thing, where there wasn't a lot of football. There were channels for it, but it was nowhere near, of course, what you would expect and what you definitely get in Europe. So when we moved to Italy, it was like this new world opened for me, where I could actually watch Serie A, I could watch Premier League, I could watch the Bundesliga, because of course we got Sky, which means we had pretty much everything you could ask for as a football fan, and it was just perfect. And I remember getting this shirt right here for Christmas, and it was just a great gift. There aren't many things that, at least for me, because my memory is trash, there aren't a lot of things that stick with you, or stick with me, I should say, from Christmases and stuff like that. But this one absolutely was. This was just a great gift, and to this day, you know, I'm still extremely happy I got it. And it's like, it's an iconic jersey because it's not the best looking, in my opinion, but it's got that feel of, it's like the end of the late 90s, 2000 kits going into the modern kits. It's got that retro feel despite being still relatively modern, and the materials you can definitely tell from the materials that it's still more like a classic kit. Alright, so let's move on to 2006, 2007, or no. Yeah, I think this was 2000. It was either the 2005, 2006 kit or 2006, 2007 kit. Regardless, it is the Ruud van Nistelrooy Real Madrid kit. And you're probably going to notice I don't even know if you can actually notice it too much, but this isn't actually an official jersey. On a school field trip, I think it was in the third year of middle school, my friend Bakazi, he'll definitely be able to confirm that, because he bought his kits at the same time as me. Essentially in San Marino, of course, the Republic, and there's a tiny little. It's not really. It's a tiny country, but it's a really really nice place. They actually had these stores where, and you can find these everywhere, but to me it was kind of new because I didn't really go around stores too often as a kid. Not like that, of course. I would pretty much only go to official branded stores and things like that for football kits, and I wasn't really, I never really found them for this cheap because we bought them for like $20 a piece, which is next to nothing, even for replica kits. Mostly because these things look extremely real. Like the only real thing that gives them away is the material. Like when you touch it, you can absolutely tell it's not really that great. The material's not great. That's for damn sure. But everything else about it looks pretty damn good. I will absolutely say that. So yeah, material is great for that. But it's an iconic kit for me because Ruud van Nistelrooy was, of course, one of my favorite players of all time. And when he went to Real Madrid, I was very disappointed, but it turned out to be one of the best things that could happen for United. Because of course we went on to win a lot, gave more space to Wayne Rooney and some of the other guys that were starting to come in, and maybe he just wasn't quite the perfect fit from a team point of view. And at the same place in San Marino, I actually bought this kit right here. It's the United kit from 06-07, Ronaldo. So it's my only Ronaldo kit. And once again, it looks pretty much perfect, except for the material. You can tell it's polyester as opposed to like a high quality Nike or Adidas kit. You can definitely tell that for sure. But at the same time, though, it just looks really, really, basically perfect. Like it's huge. Don't get me wrong. They only had what size is this? This is an L, and trust me, it fits more than an L because I've been chunky enough to wear an L as of late, and this does not fit me like an L would usually fit me. But what I do have is this one. I have the original version too, and this is actually technically not mine, and it doesn't have a name on the back. That's the only disappointing thing, but that's fine. I'm not worried about that. This actually isn't technically mine. This is a kit that my dad bought for himself, if I'm not mistaken. I remember he definitely bought it for himself. Now, why he left it to me, I don't know. I haven't asked him. I probably should, but regardless, he's never having it back. There's no doubt about that. And this is probably the one that I've worn the most because it's the only official kit I had from United from like 2007 to around 2014. So I wore this a lot. I still wear it to this day. It's probably my favorite one that I own, also from an aesthetic point of view. But it's not as good as the next year's one. The one that we had for 2 years in 07, 08, and 08, 09. That was arguably the nicest jersey I think we've had. But this one right here, it's iconic. It's the one where we won our first title after a few years of losing it to Chelsea and to Arsenal. So it was just really, 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 really good to see. Going on to the more modern kits now, we actually have, like I said, the one from 2014, or more or less around there. I don't remember exactly what year it is. Maybe it says I think this was 2014, 2015. It was definitely the year I went to Old Trafford for the first time with my friend once again. Shout out to Bakazi. We went to Old Trafford to watch United take on PSV Eindhoven. It finished 0-0, a pretty boring game, I'm not going to lie to you guys, but of course going to the stadium for the first time of many at this point. Now I go pretty much every year. I've been able to go 4 times now. It was of course a great time. And this kit, I bought it in the Mega Store. I wasn't planning on doing it because I was relatively broke at the time. I spent a lot of my money to go to the match itself and to travel to England from Italy and all that stuff. So it was it cost me some money, but I don't know. I just felt like I needed a good souvenir for when I was there, and this was of course the best thing I could do, and I absolutely love this kit. Now, once again, it's not necessarily the nicest, but I just feel like it's actually just a good kit overall. It has the Adidas stripes and all that stuff, which is the first Adidas kit I actually owned for United. So definitely happy about that one. Now we have one that for me personally is very, very important, and it's because growing up as a United fan, of course, when I started playing FIFA constantly, Wayne Rooney was on the cover. And of course, as a United fan, Wayne Rooney was my guy for a long ass time. Now there was that little period where he was talking about leaving and maybe going to Chelsea or something like that, and that was very frustrating. That's where I started to kind of lose a little bit of my of my love for him. But at the same time, you know, Wayne Rooney, he's our highest goal scorer. He's a guy that throughout the years where I was really growing as a football fan, he was the guy. You know, like Cristiano Ronaldo was the best player in the world, but Wayne Rooney was our longest running best player. You know what I mean? Like when Rooney was young, when Rooney first came to the club, he was light years better than Ronaldo. He was light years better than Messi. He was one of the best players in the world. Messi and Ronaldo, of course, Rooney stayed around here because he was still an excellent player. Ronaldo and Messi went way up here, and Rooney stayed here, and a lot of that has to do with injuries and stuff like that too. But make no mistake about it, Rooney was an amazing player and actually undervalued, I feel like, by England fans and stuff like that. So just a phenomenal player and a kit that I am really, really attached to because I bought this specifically for him retiring. And yeah, I'll always treasure this. It's not a shirt that I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't like it aesthetically. I don't like this bullshit. I just don't like it. But guess what? All the ones I liked were sold out with Wayne Rooney on the back, and you couldn't personalize it because of course it was they were going with the limited edition type stuff. So I had to do it like this. Fuck it, YOLO. I have a Wayne Rooney kit, and I will never regret that. One that I do kind of regret actually is the Romelu Lukaku kit from a couple years ago, and I'll explain now. To this day, I am a fan of Romelu Lukaku. Like, there's no doubt about that. I give him a lot of shit in my FIFA career mode videos, but I do respect the shit out of what Lukaku did for United and what he can still continue to do as a player in world football. And I do not regret buying this kit at all because I bought it in a time where Lukaku was getting criticized a lot. And I always defended him pretty strongly. Like, I used to call him, okay, I'll leave that nickname out because it's not really relevant. But because it was just my little personal nickname, and let's leave it at that. He was one of my favorite players for United, and what I felt like he was always getting the short end of the stick because he clearly didn't have the players around him to play the type of football that he needs to play. And it just felt like every time he was on the pitch, we would try to play small ball, and we would never exploit the fact that he was so big and so strong. And all of a sudden, he would go out, and we would just go out there and just dump in crosses. And it just felt really frustrating a lot of times. But I just feel like Romelu Lukaku as a footballer, what he can actually do is the sky's the limit, really. If he can really have the right players around him at Inter, especially being in a league like Serie A, which is, let's just be pretty honest, it's pretty shit. I feel like he can definitely be a top goal scorer there. Like Immobile is a phenomenal player. Ronaldo is, of course, Ronaldo. But once those two guys start to slow down a little bit and Lukaku has a better team around him, I feel like he can definitely achieve a lot in Serie A. And I think he definitely could have achieved a lot more than he did at United. But with the time he did spend there, I did really like having him there. It's a shame that things ended the way they did. A lot of controversy, a lot of problems, but you can't really change too much. That's just how life and that's how sports especially go nowadays. It's very hard to find people that are going to be loyal and have clubs loyal to you in the long run. But regardless, this is a kit that I do like. It has the Trinity down here of Dennis Law, George Best, and Bobby Charlton. So it's a unique kit. I'm not going to say it's the best. I'm not going to say it's even one of the best. But it is one that was very, very unique, and I wanted to own it because it has the stadium on it and all that stuff. So, and I was just a big fan of Lukaku while he was there. And as of right now, that's it for my kits. I want to buy the 94-95 away kit, the blue one. I'll have it, of course, right here. I want to buy that a lot because it's one of my favorites. And there's just so many kits, not just United, but in general, that I really want to own. And hopefully I will, like the one of the Italy kits. Man, it was just fucking amazing. So there's a lot that I want to buy. As soon as money is there, I will start to build up my collection. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and let me know in the comments down below what kits you have. And if you actually do your own videos, then please, feel free to do a response kind of video to mine and show off your kits. Oh, I also want to say, I also had a Juventus jersey. Now that I think about it, that my friend, once again, shout out again to Bakizi, he gave me, or he let me borrow, I can't remember exactly what the scenario was, a Del Piero jersey. Or maybe it wasn't Del Piero, it was definitely a Juventus jersey though. And something happened to it, and I can't remember if I ended up giving it back to him or something like that. It was just a weird story, but regardless, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.